Hey, good evening. Happy end of year. How are you all doing? I thought that tonight, now is the perfect time to come on because for the last 3 days, I just kept getting this thing go live, do a forecast. And I was like, oh, I don't know. But here I am. And I thought it would just be a nice thing to do. Now, I want to say this. This forecast isn't about this or that's going to happen. This isn't a prediction, or at least I'm not planning it on becoming that. This isn't a doom and gloom, watch out, the world's going to end kind of thing. This is the guidance that is going to be coming through for me. I have no idea what is... what's going to come in. I've had a few words come through over the last few days, but I have got an array of card decks here. I have got the intention that I'd like to know what we need to know. So like I said, this is not about predicting the future, and this is why. For me, the future is very rarely set in stone. For me, there are so many different myriads of possibilities that are available to us. However, our job is about how do we anchor in the highest timeline? How do we do the best thing that we can do as a human being living on this planet in this moment with the decisions and the opportunities and the opportunities that we have in front of us? What can we do in order to anchor in the highest possible timeline? That is where I want to focus on today. So like I said, I don't know how this is going to go. I think originally I thought, oh, it's going to be some form of month-on-month thing. Hey, Carol. But I don't think so. I think I'm just going to ask those questions, put it out there, see what comes up. Lynn, hey Lynn, the future is seldom set in stone. Yes, exactly. So if you're in and you're live, then say hi. I might not say hi to all of you because I know how annoying it is when we are watching this back on replay when we keep on stopping. But do say hello, and it will make my life a lot easier just knowing that you are here watching. What do I want to say? Nothing. I think let's just get started. I don't know how long this is going to be. I don't know what's going to come up. Who knows? But here we are. So 2022. What do we need to know? Okay, let's find out. Let's go first of all with what themes we've got coming up. Themes. Oh, this looks good. They're upside down at the minute, so who knows? So themes for 2022. Here we've got the Four of Wands. We have got, another Four of Cups. I knew it. And the Death Rebirth card. So remember what I'm asking, what do we need to know in order to anchor in the highest timeline? Actually, look, I'm looking at these two cards together. So here we've got the Four of Wands. This is like the fire energy. Look at them, they're having fun. They're shaking their tambourines. They're going in with the flow of life. Look how she is flowing in there. They're really enjoying this. It's like, for me, this feels like it's sunrise and they've been partying through the night. For me, so what's this? This is a tambourine? Is that what it is? I used to play one as a kid. But it's like, when we use the rattle to call in the spirits and to call upon, those energies that are coming in. And this is what I feel. It's like they're waking up the day here, and they're waking up the day in celebration. And yes, they could go and they could retreat and they could, go there in the darkness, and it's almost like There's not time. It's not time for that now. Right now, it's time to call in and welcome in the light. We'll sleep when we're dead. It's that kind of thing. This is about going out and enjoying life. But is it not very interesting that here it comes with the Four of Cups, where there's this real, I mean, look at that rainbow. It's like this healing energy, this beauty, this wonder of life. Yet she's looking away with all her singing bowls here, kind of stacked to one side. It's kind of the opposite. It's like, well, I've got all of this beauty, I've got all of this potential, I've got all of this. I suppose if I think about what the singing bowls are, this healing potential, but just this ability to be able to express and communicate and harmonise. Yet she's choosing to sit there and just kind of feel a little bit glum. And actually what this is saying to me is that we really do have that opportunity to be able to, to be able to make a choice. To be able to go, okay, am I going to welcome in the dawn that I want to create? Am I going to sing and dance even if I'm a little bit tired? Or am I just going to sit and slump and actually not look at the opportunities that are around us and look into the... It's not even doom and gloom. It's this kind of like, oh, well, what's the point? It's like, what's the point? What is the point of trying to do anything different? Michelle says, yes, I'm going to sing and dance when I'm tired. Right? For me, these two cards, remember I asked, what's the theme of the year? Four of Wands, Four of Cups. Here we have two very different options. And we have this welcoming of this softer, quiet time, which we can take that opportunity. But for now, this is really about celebrating where we are. This feels to me like we have that choice, that apathy might be tempting, right? That it might be like, oh my gosh, not this again. When are we going to XYZ? How is this still going on? Why is this conversation still happening? Yeah. And we have a choice to either keep on partying or to sit in apathy, even in despair. And I don't know, this feels like it's coming in to remind us of that. I'm going to come back to the Death Rebirth card because that was very much what I was feeling about this year coming up, this 2022, that there's going to be a lot of that. But let me just see what other guidance there is. Okay, that's interesting. Let's get 3 cards as well. Okay, so here we are with the Tender Embrace card. Look, this is the number 22 as we move into 2022. Look at those elephants, these magnificent, strong creatures. What do we know about elephants? They don't forget. They don't forget, right? What else do we know about elephants? That they are these huge... If you've ever been in the presence of an elephant, you know that they're these like gentle giants, but they're quite imposing. Yet they seem to be able to walk across the land with these, these huge feet, and yet make quite little impact on where they are. So why is this coming up? This is actually saying to me this, that we're going to have... that there's, I'm going to use that word again, opportunity, that things will be thrown up for us, things from the past, things that maybe we haven't healed, or things that we have healed but we aren't you know, we there's always layers, right? So, you know, the things that we're going through, a lot of our shadow stuff, a lot of our old triggers. For me, this is a reminder that these things will come up. I do think personally that 2022 is going to be a lot about bringing to the surface some of the patterns and the things that we've held on to, and the things that have been very much in that subconscious aspect of us. And I think things are going to come up. I think that there's going to be this divide that we are seeing. I think that we're going to see that more. And what this opportunity is for us is to take it and to embrace it. In fact, embrace and shadow are two words that I very much use together. For me, shadow is not always about releasing and rejecting. It's very rarely about that. It's about embracing it and going, I'm bringing it along. I'm bringing all of this along. So this could be family trauma. This could be ancestral impacts that we have. This could be, you know, what we brought with us from our school days, from our family, from society, from things that are just expected for us. For me, this feels like those echoes. It might not feel like echoes. They might feel like you've got a big old animal charging at you with this. And in those moments, it is about us embracing that. In those moments, it's about going, okay, how can I welcome that in and not judge me, and just ask that question, is this true? Am I going to use this for destruction, or am I going to use this for healing? So, I don't know. I want to say this. Don't be surprised if things just start coming up for you. Things that either you thought that you'd left behind, or things that you thought that you'd healed, or things that you thought that that you'd moved through, or that you'd successfully diverted. I wonder if they'll come up. And when they do, just look at it and go, okay, there you are, old friend. I want to say this as well. You know, you can look at this card and be like, you know, potentially these two elephants could have butted heads. The 2 and 2. It's like these two very different opinions. I don't see that going away. For me, it feels like, you know, whatever side of the fence you were on about any matter, this can be anything really. I'm not even talking about anything in particular. I think that divide could get stronger, and then you make that choice. Do I, like I'm feeling these elephants like hankering down, you know. It's like, do I hanker down and stand my ground and go, no, and I'm going to butt in? Or am I going to go, okay, well, you know, let me hear where you are. Let me see where you are. Let me accept where you are. And then here is my point of view. Here is where I am. What else do you know about elephants? They've got big ears, right? So this is about listening. But look at what the next card was. Oh gosh, I'm falling over. Yeah, I don't know, you can't see it. The Lamb Between. What number? Number 40. So we've got the 2 and the 2, the 4. We've got another 4. We've got the 4 of Cups, and we've got the 4 of Wands. So we've got, and then we've got the 13. So they're all 4s. Every card that I've pulled so far is a 4. Okay. So let me talk about that in a minute. Why is the 4s coming up? For me, the 4 is really that foundation. If you think about a structure, it has these pillars, you know, 4 pillars. And for me, the 4 is always about this structure, the pillars of society. 4 4s, right? And it's like this, okay, it feels to me, this comes kind of into this death card as well. This really feels about, like, what are our foundations? What are our foundations? And do they need to be pulled down? Because sometimes they do. We can't keep building upon shaky foundations. What are our pillars? What are holding them up? And for some of us, I hate to say this, but for some of us, this will feel like we are being pulled out. and that we are being like hanked out of where we were and what was so familiar. And that can be like super scary. I understand that. However, in that moment, we also have a choice. Do we celebrate the change, and do we welcome in this new potential that's coming up? Or do we just go, oh my God, this is all happening to me? This actually is a super powerful card, because this really feels to me like this is a call to us to go, okay, this is a chance for us to lift, to take a higher perspective, to stop. I'm going to show you the next card as well, actually. It's the exposed and revealed card. For me, this is like, oh my God, we're being shown things that we were maybe blind to before. We're being shown things that perhaps are shocking, maybe, that we didn't know before. And in those moments, we can either hide and try and bury our head under the sand, or we can lift it out and go, okay, where am I now going? Am I now going back to how it used to be? And I put this in a post earlier, that often we want to, we're scared of change, but that is the only constant, is that we are always changing. Or am I going to use this to create something new? Here we've got in fact, look, I don't know if you can see that, but it's like you've got the 4 pillars here as well. And here it's like, that this reminds me of, like where you might get married. So this is like this place of sacred contracts. What am I anchoring in right now? What am I creating right now? What new dawn am I celebrating now? What am I calling in? In fact, this to me feels very important about what am I creating, because we've had the death card, and that can be scary, and we've been taught to fear death, and we've been taught to not talk about it, and we've been taught that death is final, but it's not really true, is it? It's not really true. The truth is that we're constantly in a state of flux. And if we can allow for those pillars to crumble down without trying to clamber and hold on to it, without going, oh my gosh, the world is ending, without blaming ourselves for without blaming ourselves for what we didn't know in the past, well, then we begin to create. This was a word that kept coming for me. Do we create or react? Create or react? I kept hearing that, create or react. And that's this. Do we see the world start falling apart? And some of it might not be easy. I think that there's going to be a lot of revelations and exposures and things where we're like, oh my gosh, like, is this actually really happening? And in those moments, rather than trying to clamber onto what things used to be like, and we have to keep it the same way, we take that opportunity and we go, okay, what do we want to create instead? What new foundation am I going to start to lift? How am I going to respond to this? How am I going to play my part in this? How am I going to sing that song and ring that bell and keep dancing? How am I going to do that? Because for me, what this feels like more than anything is taking responsibility, creating what it is that you want to see in the world. And I know that you've heard me talk about this often, but it's so important. And unfortunately, what am I hearing? There's something here about when things are hard, right? When we are feeling, like Alyssa's just said, agitated, angry, triggered, frightened, name your word. When we are feeling attacked, that's actually that energy I'm getting. When we are feeling attacked, what do? Do we react and stand there and go and react in that way? Or do we create? We use those opportunities of attack and we go, okay, where's my healing here? What is it in me that is feeling that attack and wanting to react to it? Because what is react? It is us acting in the same way we always have done. 2022 is not about acting in the same way that we always have done. 2022 is about creating. It is about new foundations. It is about new ways of being. And that is damn scary, because in order to rebirth, well, guess what? We need to let things go. We need to let things die. We need to let things change form, because is that not what death is? Changing form. And then look at that light that comes from that. Look at that potential that comes from that. And look at this figure. It is facing it head on. It is facing it head on. It is not hiding behind the old structures and the way things were and the way things used to be. It's like, I am going to face you and I'm going to embrace you. What do we need to know? Look at this. What do we need to know? And here we are with the Ace of Swords, new ideas. Look at that spiral. Someone in the comments, I think it was Michelle, put on about that healing spiral. And I've spoken about that a lot, that we move around. Yet here we are. We're not moving up and around the spiral and still seeing things again and again in all the different perspectives. We are getting down to the very core and the very essence of the idea. And we are holding our head high. She is not looking externally for answers. Look at her. Her eyes are closed. She is not looking to this one or that one and tell me what to do. Show me the way. She is going straight into the core, to the essence, to the center of her, right in her third eye. And she's creating something new. This is the ace. This is the one. This is the beginning. This is the new. This is wiping out every single foundation of the square box houses. And it's creating something very different and very new. And she is not relying on anyone else. That is coming. Look at that. That light is shining out from her and from her center and from her essence. Here, there's like formulas. And it's like there's the square root sign here and the number 2. So here we are again with the 4 and the 2. We are getting to the essence, to the root of what these foundations are, right? This is super exciting. We are getting to the root of these foundations, and some of them will crumble down. But I guarantee you this, if you stay in your integrity and you stay in your light and you allow for your ears to be open, you take time every day to go inwards and to go, what do I need to know next? What is my next best course of action? What do I need? What do I want? Truthfully, what do I need? Not what does this person tell me I need, or what does society tell me I need? What do I need more of today? A walk in nature, moving my body, fresh clean water, having a laugh with friends, some time alone, singing until dawn, resting in here. What do I truly need now? And you let that guide you. We will start to create these new foundations. We will start to create this new pillar in this 2022. There's a bit of a joke going around about how 2022 is 2020 number 2. It's none of that. We can make it that way because this feels to me like we are in a very potent time of manifestation. So maybe somebody out there would quite like us to think that this is going to be a rerun of 2020. But what were the amazing things about 2020? For many of us, we got to spend more time. That's all we had, right? Time. Here anyway, we were at home, we couldn't go anywhere. Here we had this beautiful sunshine, we were connecting. We had that hour a day, which we were allowed to go out. And I know we made the absolute most of that. We were in the woods, we were doing things simple. This wasn't about going and being distracted by going bowling, going to the cinema, going to the soft play, going here, going there. We were together as a family, having a picnic in the woods, walking, climbing trees. That really asked us, what does my soul need today? And for me, this is what your 2022 is about. My mentor put a post on the other day, and I really feel that this is such good advice for 2022. She put, well, there was a whole post, but she put something on about observing, not absorbing. And I was like, that is the best advice I heard all year. And I heard it yesterday. And I think that this will be a massive theme for 2022. Because this is about going, okay, I can see what is around me. I'm going to see from a very high perspective what is around me. But I'm not taking it on as mine. Maybe it will inform me. Maybe it will, maybe it will have an influence on me. Maybe it will trigger something in me. Maybe it will change my point of view on something. Maybe it will bring me into a realization. Maybe something will be revealed to me that I didn't know was possible or true or even in, my awareness. And that's okay. We allow that. We're growing, we're changing, we're moving. Like, we don't know it all in this moment. However, we use this to maybe inform us, but we don't use this to, again, react. We use this to carry on creating. Well, what do I need? What do I want? What is next? And what's the answer? And this was the card that came, the spirit of gratitude. Letting that blossom. Everything that I do have, everything that I do need, everything that has got me this far. Even, and this is what is coming through very loudly right now, even my triggers, even my anger, even my agitation, even those things that really make me mad, even those things that person doesn't agree with me on, or this person is doing this, or things that we see as atrocious to humanity or even to our life, like whatever it is, even those things, we be grateful for them. Because why? Because it's helping us shed, release the sandbags of the heaviness that right now we are carrying with us. And I think that 2022 will be like, if you don't need it anymore, you ain't bringing it with you, because this is those foundations. If you're just coming in, all of the cards that I picked, the first four cards I picked were 4. The 4 of Cups, the 4 of Wands, the Death, and the 22 and the 40. So we've got 5 cards, so all with the 4. This is about our foundations and creating those foundations. Creating those. Tara, applying discernment to what we are presented with as opposed to diving in. Yes, truly grateful to aspects, lessons, and that which was seen and revealed from the unseen. Yes. And this is it, because that card, this tender embrace card here, that whatever comes up at you, whatever it is, whatever you face in that moment, it's about accepting that. Because if we can do that, if we can start with doing that outside of ourselves, when somebody comes to us and they have a differing point of view, for example, and we can in that moment show compassion and show understanding and go into the heart, not into the head that's going to argue with you and say that they're a threat to you and what you believe in. But you come into the heart, which is like, I see your light, I see your essence, I see your truth. And you come into that heart space, well, then we're not divided anymore. Maybe this is the twos again. We're not one. We're unity, we're together. You bring the twos together, what does it come to? Yeah, you mirror the twos and you've got a heart. And unfortunately, and you might have heard me say this before, but when there's such a clear theme, such as healing and, moving through the triggers, I mean, what seems to be the summary for me is about this foundational change. When you've got something that is so potent, well, unfortunately, it's probably not going to be easy, because it means that we have to face it. And it's almost the closer we are to, I don't know what you want to call it, enlightenment, ascension, clarity, healing, whatever it is. Well, you don't want to bring with you what you don't want to bring with you. And the way through that isn't by rejecting it. It is about looking it in the face. Let's see what these cards have to say. How are we going to get through this? Let's ask that question. How are we going to get through this? Oh, that's interesting. Well, this is very interesting. Okay, I'll tell you why this is interesting. For the last 4 days, I've been wanting to make a post, and I just haven't done it yet, about how safe do you feel? How safe do you feel? And those of you that are watching this now, I'm going to ask you that question. How safe do you feel? Because there has been a real machine going on around us, which has been leading us to not feel safe. Right? You just have a drink. How safe do we feel in our body? How safe do we feel in our body, in our truth? And the card that's come up is the inner earth. But look, have I noticed this before? I don't know. This is her head and her neck, and here is the heart. Here is that big open heart space, because when you come into your heart, when you are fully grounded and fully present in your body, not in your head, not listening to what everything else is going on around there, but you are truth in your heart and truth in your body, you will realize that your body is always trying to keep you safe. Your body is always tracking the environment. Your body is always tracking any what's the word? Invasion, yeah? And it's trying to make it better. Our body is constantly trying to come back into balance, which is why if we have a heavy night, she says on New Year's Eve, if we have a heavy night or we eat something that's not great for us or we drink too much, the next day we don't feel good. Why? Because we're trying to come into balance. It's not punishment. It is our body trying to make us come back into balance. What do? We sit in our body. We don't try and escape it. We don't try and say, oh, well, hold on, this doesn't feel good, so I'm going to have to, numb it, run away from it, escape it, stop it, take a sugar pill to give me a lift. Oh my God, look what it says. Look what it says. Laying foundations. This is what we're doing. We are safe in our body. Like Miss Jojo says, I am safe in my body. Yes, we start with that. Goodness me, this is about us coming into that heart space and knowing that we have a right to be here, knowing that we have a right to how we want to be in our body. There's something here about the base chakra, and those who meditate among us, I invite you to connect in with that and just notice if it is open or closed, how deep into the earth it goes, and how connected it is into your heart, and just allow that to be. This is even more interesting. Did I bring it down? No, just before I came on here, I took a higher heart essence. And why? Because I feel like 2022 is going to be an activation of our higher heart space. That's what came through literally 10 minutes before I came on live. And this is the card that's come up as well, the higher heart. For me, what the higher heart is, so this is our chakra here. This is the bridge between our throat, our truth, our fifth dimension, and our heart. This is our place of love, our center. And the higher heart sits in the middle. It comes in from that higher truth. It allows us to speak that truth. It allows us to feel safe. It allows the words, this is it. It allows the words to come from our mouth. And what we hear, what we filter in, to come from that higher resonance. To come from that higher resonance. I mean, look at this, right? I don't know if you're getting from the image the same thing I am, but it looks to me like this was an earth, like a field or whatever, and it looks to me like it's been burnt. It looks to me like it's just had a fire and everything got burnt down, and it is rebuilding a new like new fauna. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like this new, like it's completely different. Whereas this meadow may have contained daisies and, I don't know, daffodils, that now it's containing these more hardy pink, like it's a new path. That's what it feels. And it's not just a new path. All the surrounding, everything's changed. It's like it's all been burnt down. And how amazing would it be that we create our new world, not from the feeling of, am I safe? Which, let's be fair, a lot of this world is built upon. Yes? But imagine it comes from this, the higher heart, the truth, the essence, and back into that portal, this new dawn again. What if we create from this? And then what brings this all together? Here, the Acturian light codes. Now this is about, I mean, look at that. This is futuristic. This is about allowing us to create from the future. This to me feels like a reminder that we are the ancestors. We are the ancestors. We are the future ancestors. Whatever we are creating in this moment is what we are going to be leaving behind. And 2022 feels like a pivotal year for that. This is about going, how do I want the world to be? How am I going to create? Remember what I said halfway through this video. 2022 is about creating, not reacting. What am I creating? Look at that. It's that heart space again. It's emanating from that. You can see the echoes of, you can see, right, the shape here. Yeah, what am I opening to? Where am I coming from? Evolutionary downloads, recalling power. Like, even when I'm looking at this, it looks to me like this is a figure, like this, like, yes, bring it in, I'm coming, I'm open, I'm safe. Like, if you're standing like that, doing a back bend with your heart open out, you feel safe, you are open, you are expressing from the heart. And that is what 2022 is about. It is about us creating from that space, creating from the heart, knowing we are safe, knowing that we are our future generations, ancestors, knowing that we are powerful, standing in our power, standing in our wholeness, and not letting anybody pull us away from that, but not in a battle mode, in a yes, I'm going to bring you along too. Because if we can do that from the perspective of other people who disagree with us or whatever, right? We do that for the sake of other people, then guess what? When we have something come up that we don't agree with, an old belief, something that's, outdated, something that's pulling us in a different way, something that our body is telling us one thing, but our spirit is telling us something else, then if we are used to bringing it in, then guess what? We're going to bring that in too. And how much more powerful are we if we are standing united? 2022. This is about us being together, embracing all of it, creating. Natasha says, feels like an acceptance of self. It does feel like an acceptance of self, a radical acceptance of self. But I want to take it a step further than that, because it's because of this creation aspect. This very much feels like a year of creation. This feels like a pivotal moment to create what we want to see. And we create from that sense of wholeness. We must do. And things will come up. Things will be exposed. We will see the whole truth. We will see our own bull, right, show up to us. And in that moment, we have a choice. We either reject it, excuse it, fight for it, or we just go, okay, well, I'm seeing that for what it is. Does that align with my heart? Does that align with my soul? Is this truth? And then we move forward. Like this year was all about discovery. Next year is about building and taking this forward. Next year, where's my card? It said it here. Laying foundations from the heart. Laying foundations. And we lay it from inside. We lay it from inside. Where's my Ace of Swords, lady? We go in, we go within, we go into the truth and the core and the root of the matter. So, where's it leading us? Okay. We need to remember and know where we are being led and who is leading us. What baggage we are taking with us. Even through the choppy waters, are we allowing for the unconscious, the subconscious, the spirit or the soul or anything else to lead? What is in our bag and what are we carrying? I mean, she's got one big heavy bag on there. And then here we have the Eight of Pentacles. Look at all the different phases. It's like she's got the moon phases there. She's got all of the, it's like she's got this bounty around her. She's got everything that she needs. I mean, actually, I don't know, I'm looking at her and she's just kind of looking at the single candle on her cake and she's a bit like, me. For me, this is reminding us, what are we being led by? Are we going to be led by the promises of material gain, material wealth, financial, you know, it's almost like this promise of you can have everything. Is that what's leading us? Or is there something else? Strip it all down. Allow your heart to pour from you. Allow your heart to shed the grief and the misunderstanding and the heaviness and the everything that it has carried with it for generations and generations and generations, and let that slip into Mother Earth. She will take every single bit of it for you. And as you do that, the earth will heal because it will feel your truth. And we start again. Is this the world of financial abundance? Are your New Year's resolutions this year? I want more money. I want more nice things. I want to go and eat in the 5-star restaurant and stay in the nicest hotel in the world and buy the big house and the big car. There is nothing wrong with that if that's what you want. But is that truly what is going to make you satisfied? Or is it just that one divine light, that one divine spark that you're connecting to? What's leading you? What's leading you? What's leading you? I feel like I really need to get this message across. Right now, this is about us. This is about us creating that foundation. I don't think that 2022 is going to be the easiest year that we have ever navigated. However, if you come with it with the knowing that every time the poo hits the fan, that this is an opportunity for healing, this is an opportunity for growth, this is an opportunity to get us to know ourselves better, this is an opportunity to take it out of the bag and put it down. If we do that in every single time that comes up, well, then we will end this year stronger. We will end this year knowing ourselves so much better. And as a whole, those foundations will start to rise and those new flowers will start to grow. But this very much feels that we need to take this on ourselves. And this is not from a space of each man for his own. This is a case of truth, truth, truth. Who am I? What do I need? What do I want? What is my heart shedding? What is the core and the essence, the root of what it is that I'm building? Let your heart heal. This, for me, feels like this higher heart space is coming into activation this year, which will allow us to speak our truth, which will allow us to come into our heart, which will allow us to be in our body more than our minds. If we allow all of that, I think that we as individuals will then come together there'll be a big difference. Let's just say that. There'll be a big difference. It's like what was hidden in the dark, the dodgy people out to get everything from themselves, well, look at the light will shine upon them. The light will shine upon them. And we'll hear it, but it won't be leading us. Right. That's me. How do I summarise that? I think I just did. 2022 is about building our foundations. When we're building foundations, we can't build foundations upon something that is already wobbly. So we must be aware, open for things to move. We must be aware and I don't know, like take responsibility. Take responsibility. And when things come up for you, yes, you might react to begin with because we're human and that's okay. But in the moment that you notice, remember, this is an opportunity for you to heal. And this is an opportunity for you to create. Create, don't react. Create, don't react. This is an opportunity for you to create from that sense of heart, from that sense of safety, from that sense of knowing, from that sense of, yes, all of this stuff is being revealed and opened up so that it can tumble away, so that we can rebirth into something new. Rebirth is a very strong theme for this year, coming. So what can you do about that? If I'm going to set an intention, I'm going to set one intention for the year. I'm going to set one intention for this year. For me, it's really about being led by soul. I'm just going to pick up these cards because a few fell on the floor. Do you know what fell on the floor? Another 4. Judgment and the moon. That's what fell on the floor. So take from that what you will. If I was to set one intention, it would be about allowing my soul to lead the way. It will be to allow myself to know that I am always guided by the highest power, and that is what I'm aligning to every single day. What intention do I set? Justice, balance, bring it all with me, seeing things from the higher perspective. And I touched on this at the beginning. When one thing comes one way, when we get thrown a trigger, an argument, whatever, we do what we can to bring it back. So if we get thrown the darkness, guess what we need to do? We need to throw in the light. If we see something tumbling down that is damn scary and we think that the world is never going to be the same as it was, good, the world's not going to be the same as it was. So I now bring in my counterbalance because this is what I'm building. When I feel like I've been knocked off my center, then I use that as a call to bring myself back. I up my efforts. I up my light efforts. And when things become revealed to you that you didn't think were possible, that may change how you view the world as working, you go, okay, this has to be exposed and revealed so that we can create from that sense of love and safety and truth. We're building a foundation and it's exciting. And I am here for you every step of the way. So with that, I'm going to let you get on with your wonderful New Year celebrations. Let me know how it resonated. And I want to give each and every single one of you many, many blessings for today and for this year and for everything moving forward. Thank you for watching. Bye.